Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to kliqthistv.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussions.
Stuck on this word for 20 minutes over here. Hematocrit? Hematocrit? Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. He's Kevin, I'm Sean.
It's your red blood count. What is it? Is it above 16?
Above 16. Yeah, let me see. 51.8. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Because it says the normal range is 37.5 to 51.
And what's
and
yours?
I'm 51.8, so I'm 0.8 over.
I don't worry about those.
You're, I think hemoglobin's the number you're talking about.
Yeah, I thought you said, yeah.
I'm 16.8.
Wow, that's kind of high for somebody that doesn't take testosterone.
I'm a fucking beast, though. That's the thing that you.
No, you don't want your fucking blood to be motor oil.
It's what's the one? What's the white blood cell count? Is that in here too?
Yeah.
What would that be called? Because what's the indication of cancer? I just need to make sure that none of that is growing in me. The white blood cell count gets very high, right?
Yeah, you would. If you went to your doctor and your fucking counts were through the roof, they would.
They'd let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing that I was really targeting, because I'm seeing my cardiologist Friday.
Oh, it should be your lipid panel.
And what he tasked me with losing 35 pounds, and I've lost 34. So hopefully that's acceptable to him. So now the lipid panel. Here we go. So the lipid panel. All right. So let me start by saying I know it's not perfect, but where I'm coming from, we have to all keep this all in perspective here. So my let's
do total cholesterol first.
Total cholesterol is 140.
Okay, anything below 150 is good.
Okay.
HDL.
All right. HDL, that's the good stuff?
That's the good cholesterol.
The good cholesterol.
Should be above 40.
I'm very low. My HDL last time was 24, and right now the new blood work was 27.
That's horrible.
Thank you.
What's your LDL?
All right. So this is where. So it was 58 last year, and it is now 49.
What's your? Did they use C-reactive protein?
Where would that be?
It would be It would be after all, like your triglycerides. What were your triglycerides?
All right. Last year they were 378, and now they're 305, which is still like twice what the limit is.
So in other words, you've lost weight, but you haven't changed your diet, and you've lost weight.
Well, the numbers are moving in the right direction. My cholesterol went from 58 to 49, right? Isn't that good?
Yeah, but your HDL's still. Like you need to.
How do I raise that though? The good cholesterol. I thought that was very difficult to manipulate.
You can take a peptide called GW50-1560 underneath your tongue. That usually will raise your HDL fucking 10 points.
Daily?
Yeah.
It's a daily supplement?
And then people say, oh, it's cancer causing and you can't use it and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like the studies they have on it causing cancer are like the old saccharin. You know, if you gave if a rat
sweet
ate,
and low,
if a rat ate 350 kilos of fucking saccharin a day, it would lead to cancer. It's hard. I mean, you got like your easiest ways to raise your HDL are doing cardio. You know, doing cardio. Like when I am really strict on cardio, watch my saturated fat. Like you said the other day, I can't leave here, and you had a picture of like some food.
Oh, living here. Yeah, I had the prosciutto and the fresh mutts and the salami. I know that doesn't happen every day.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like a saturated fat party. You know, it's like.
And then today, ask me what I had today.
What'd you have today?
I had a barbecued chicken with beans and corn. Because I had that shit yesterday. And
corn's waste is a pretty...
Well, if I have to choose a side, I could have chosen coleslaw or something, which would have been horrendous for me.
Coleslaw might have more fiber than fucking corn. There's a reason when you eat corn, you shit out the whole thing.
Breakfast good for price. Saw my mozzarella online yesterday. This was pre. I had the test pre. So that was the celebratory meal after I had the blood drawn and I fasted. And then another thing, Kevin,
what was your
sugar.
What was your glucose?
All right, glucose. I think
that's your sugar. It's usually the first thing on your blood work.
Yeah, it is the first. It was 90.
That's good.
As compared to, it was the same last year, 90. But the other sugar thing that I had to be aware of was the hemoglobin, which I guess that's when you get close to like pre-diabetic or whatever. It was 5.9 last time, which showed up as high on my paperwork, but it's 5.4 now. So I'm...
What is it? That A1 number or whatever?
Yeah. A1C. Yeah. They say pre-diabetes would be 5.7 to 6.4, and then diabetes
the drug the drug that you're taking is a diabetic. That's one of the.
Yes.
So I would imagine you should have got way better results than a drop in 0.2 or 3 on that.
It was a 0.5. For God's sakes, don't.
Yeah, but I mean that's. I would. It just doesn't seem like it.
Well, it got me out of the danger zone, which I was approaching. But it's the triglycerides, right?
You've got to start putting some muscle back on your body. That's the only way you're gonna. I mean, that's the key to survival is to be able to fucking when you look at old man Biden. And he's skinny as a fucking rail, and it's just like he doesn't have any muscle, and he can't motor himself anymore.
Yeah,
you gotta. If at our age, it's more important to put on lean muscle than it is to do 30 minutes of cardio, because if you put on 4 pounds of muscle, your body while it sits will burn more calories than you will during the course of a day. Like I had the last time I had the panel where you sit in a chair and they put this, you breathe and they figure out all this shit through this computer. If I was to sit in a chair for 24 hours and not move, I would burn 3,970 calories.
For how long?
Fucking 24 hours.
Without exercise, you would burn.
And the only person that had a higher rating than I did of this place was Jeter. Jeter's was higher than mine.
Derek Jeter?
Yeah.
And you get that from what? You're saying from muscle mass?
To me, I don't know why I would have any like genetic indicators with my mom's side's diabetic and my father's side has cardiac risk.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know what, but I've been active my entire life, and I've been an athlete. Like I've never taken, even when I get hurt, I still like I'll train the other side of my body. If I tear my right shoulder, I train my left side of my body. And I train my legs. Like I think that I've been able to keep a good degree at 65 of just lean muscle mass, which just increases your metabolism when you're at rest.
You've been working out your entire life too.
Yes.
Which is
I started lifting weights when I was, like religiously when I was probably 10, 11. Something like that. I had my Ted Williams 110-pound sand weight set down in the basement from Ted Williams from Sears.
That's pretty sweet.
And I had then Kmart sold the 25-pound extra plates, so I had the white Kmart plates.
I had for Christmas one year they got me when I was like I don't know, maybe 10 or something like that too. They got me the Hogan workout
nice
for kids. I think it was they had these little blue dumbbells and then like a cassette where you kind of walks you through explains what the reps and the sets are and how to. Clearly I didn't keep up with it, but yeah, I guess everyone remembers their first workout set, right?
Oh yeah. I remember I had the spring thing with the spring in the middle where you bend it.
Oh, the long one? Yeah.
Yeah, I had that. I had they came out with this thing called a bull worker, where it had there was a long pole about, it had like the two ends you could crunch, and then it had two bands on each side, cords, and you pulled it apart and you did different exercises with it.
But the hand gimmicks too. I think that was in the Hogan one, the little grip.
Yeah, the hand gimmicks. They make them now, man. Where they're like, I've got a set that are like 380. Like they're like to do 12 of them. Like it gives you fucking carpal tunnel.
That's the very kit right there.
Yeah, that's you're on your way to fucking Mr. Olympia with that.
Yeah, look at that setup, man. Jesus.
I bet you he sold so many of those.
Oh, of course. When they just, I don't know who manufactured. I think LJN might have manufactured.
He sold enough of those to fucking get himself on the Republican.
On the RNC ticket.
On the RNC final night. He's motherfucker 70, still main eventing.
Yeah, that was an LJN product. Man, LJN's love affair with WWF back in the day, those big rubber figures. And I remember Sheiky telling me, I think it was Sheik. He was in that first set of dolls, which was huge. When you were a kid, like 11 or 12, like when those came out, that was huge because there were no wrestling figures. If you liked wrestling as a kid and watch it, you had to make like your G.I. Joes be the wrestlers.
Yeah,
and
we did. And that was for us. We did with the G.I. Joes. We used to put masking tape on them and then spray them to make them like Spider-Man or Captain America. Like, you'd have to use the tester spray that you did on your models to make your G.I. Joes into
he's doing the arch. That set, that first line of wrestlers, it was Hogan, Stud, Sheiky, Snuka, and there was like one.
Was Andre?
Andre, that was the first set. Sheik's first quarterly check. Now we're talking 1980. I'm going to say 1984 these came out, okay? 84, 83, something like that. His first quarterly check was like $85,000.
Wow.
In 1984. It was just under 100, I remember him telling me. I almost fell off my chair. I'm like, what? And then you talk to all the boys, the early figures, not like the later ones when they had 65,000 wrestling figures out. When it was just those handful, and if you wanted to play with wrestling figures, you were buying the Tito doll or the Hillbilly Jim doll. Those guys fucking cleaned up. But they got checks, which surprised me. Because, like, I don't know, like in your 1099 deal.
My whole thing is in those days, man. If they were giving you 80, fuck, man, who knows
what they were making? That's true.
What the cut was. Because I think on figures now, if it's Nash, I think I get 25%. If it's diesel, I think I get 12.5.
Now, did you have to specifically negotiate each name, or is it just when they...
But you can't use my name. Like, you can't use Kevin Nash. You can't trademark it. You can only register it.
But for they can put it on $1 as long as they pay you, right?
Yeah.
But there's no, like, TM after it, like there is, like diesel, obviously.
Oh, they might do it just to fucking... So somebody else doesn't think they can do it, but
for protection,
like, legality-wise, no, they can't.
But it's not like the Cena deal where they own the name, don't they?
No,
right?
no, they don't own Kevin Nash.
Exactly. No one owns Kevin Nash, brother. You're not to be bought, brother.
Brother.
Jose Alejandre from Stockton, California said it was 112 in Sacramento last Wednesday. I unfortunately had to work in the hot-ass sun. What's going on with Northern California now? You told me you had a ridiculous temperature out there, too, right?
I think I got in Thursday night at maybe like a little bit, like maybe 10, 15 minutes before 7 p.m., and it was like, shoot, 108 degrees. With like 40-something% humidity.
That's like fucking Miami. That's ridiculous.
No, it's like not like Miami. It's nothing like. It's so different than Florida heat.
But with that much humidity in Northern California,
because we're fucking. I mean, I looked today because there was some talking pundits that was on TV, and I was just trying to get some different sided views on some of the different things because we were doing the show. And I looked over his shoulder and he had a wooden it was a wall mounting, but I can't tell if it was carved, but it was definitely painted, and it was just the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So I said to my wife, I said, wow, I wonder if that guy's like in Marquette or something like that. And she said, is that above Mackinac? And I said, yeah, Mackinac is right at the bridge. I said, this is kind of before you go to, I forget what the name of that town is that's up on the peak of the Upper Peninsula. I said, but Marquette's about as north of a city in Michigan that's got a decent population. I said, I was curious, because, and I said before the show that I wasn't going to talk weather, but we're going to fucking talk weather. I Googled the 10-day forecast for Marquette, Michigan, and it was like 75 and like lows of 57. And like at the end of the 9th and 10th day, it was going to be like low 80s and like mid 60s for low, high in the 80s, and then low was in the 60s. And I looked up humidity, and humidity was going to be 79%.
Oh.
I was like, oh, and my wife said, Tamara's like, how the fuck can that be? I said, I don't know, man. I said, it's on fucking Lake Superior. Like, I know it never gives up its dead, but I didn't realize it had 80% humidity. And I really couldn't find I was trying to find information on why the humidity was so high.
And in Michigan too, right? Which would be very uncharacteristic.
I mean, but like, we all do the fucking, where'd you grow up at? And then you do this. I mean, it's like here, it's way the fuck up.
What am I looking at? You're doing a hand thing there.
Because
Michigan loops around. Yeah.
And then this is the Upper Peninsula.
Right.
The Upper Peninsula looks like that. Mm-hmm. It actually looks this. It actually is this way.
Right.
But
now, being from Detroit, was that like the Upper Peninsula is the vacation area, right? That's when you go.
No, not even like Traverse City, Petoskey. That like Traverse City is where you went, because that was Sleeping Bear Dunes. You take the fucking dune ride down to fucking Lake Michigan, and and then
So you
going
didn't
to
have to go up as far as the.
not Marquette. No,
Okay.
I've been up to Marquette. You know, it's a cool little town. Like, it's great to go up there in the summertime. They actually, like in Traverse City and a lot of those, there's wineries now.
Mm-hmm.
And they have some, like, you can get some rosés and shit, but you're not gonna get a cab up there that's drinkable.
Right.
But not that I drink anymore.
No, and your
But,
triglycerides will thank you for it, because I was researching today, and that's one of the things that I don't really drink either, but
I
So one of the-
triglycerides last time I had my blood done were 77.
that's ridiculous. What do you do? So you have no bread at all,
No,
rice, no white rice.
I eat rice.
What else? Pastas, no pastas.
No. No.
No sugars, right? Obviously,
No.
no processed sugars.
I eat a piece of 89% like dark chocolate at night. I eat like a square of dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
I've kind of I don't really have a sweet tooth. One of the things that the shot does is it relieves you of your want to snack like that. So I don't do like candy or shit like that, but clearly that's not the issue. It's the other stuff. It's the food. It's the foodie food.
yeah. It's you know. It's,
How is Bourdain? Bourdain looked like Ichabod Bourdain. He was
but
like
he was
80 pounds.
But he fucking,
smoked.
He rolled around. He did jujitsu. He did
Comes down to
jujitsu.
the
Like,
exercise, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's just if you're not pushing your body, you know, at least 4 times a week, to where you're like, you've got to stop and and catch your sit down. I mean, to me, it's so fucking huge, especially if I'm like the other day I was training arms and I said, okay, I'm gonna superset arms and I'm getting out of here in 45 minutes. And I'm gonna do 12 sets for each. Biceps and triceps.
You're talking to people.
So
that
you
don't
do
lift
like,
weights.
say you do, first thing I did was straight bar curls, and then I supersetted them with tricep pushdowns. So you do
When you say superset, though, that means that
so you
you're
do one
doing
and then
more.
you do the next.
Oh,
You don't take a rest between the 2 sets. And then when I get going, I don't take a rest. I'll do 4 sets of each exercise. I'll do three exercises, and I don't take a rest at all. Like, I don't take a rest. I take a rest to change the weight. I take a rest, and then sometimes your arms get so engorged with blood that you just gotta fucking chill, because you just
Now, if I get on that treadmill on the other side of the office there, right? You're telling me that cardio is not going to be enough, that it's actual muscle. I remember you saying this a long time ago to me.
Yeah.
You need to weight train somewhat.
You have to. I mean, just do some research. Say, if at 50 years old, is it more important to, put on muscle or do cardiovascular work? Because like when I got done with my arm workout the other day, and I checked my pulse. My pulse was probably 123. So I mean, for me to get my heart rate to 123 on a fucking treadmill, shit, I'm gonna have to go like 3.5 and like a 12 incline. Like when I used to do a ton of cardio, I would get off the gym floor, and they'd like most of those things aren't super accurate, but some of them are. And I'd get on like the arc trainer, and I'd start, and my heart rate would be like 126 leaving the floor, and then once I got going into the cardio, it would drop to 117. Like my cardio would go down as I do cardio. I'd be like, okay, but But at the same time, though,
That's like one of those worker things that say, dude, I saw Nash work out. His cardio goes down when he does cardio.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where and also because your glycogen. See, women always have done it to the opposite. They always go to the gym and they do cardio, and they deplete their bodies of glycogen, and then they go train.
And then it affects the Secret Service.
They have. Oof. So when are we going to dive into Saturday's?
Whenever you want.
All right. So I'm sitting there, and I'm finishing my my first day of signing, and we're in Stockton, and was there with Sting, and Steve had already left. And it was nice, really great. It was so great to see him because, there was so much internet talk about me not going to Steve's last match.
Mm-hmm.
And
did you talk about it with him?
No, we love each other. He's my friend. It's like he understands. It's just like we talked about, like his shoulders are starting to bother him, and Steve and I are the same age, and it's just like it was so funny because we haven't talked to each other about shoulder pain at all, but it's just like all of a sudden he's like, I don't know what I did. I said, it's like a switch. Like all of a sudden, just one day, man, you wake up and it's just like, fuck, my shoulders are killing me. And it's just, I said, why you got to get MRIs? I said, because chances are that your labrums are gone and you're bone on bone. So we were talking, but so I was sitting there and he left because his deal is he does like 3 hours, 4 hours, and he's gone. So, and it was perfect because we were side by side with like a little, like, we just kind of interchanged people, so it was nice, and I'm there, working long haul, he's got a good character, but he's been on TV too, like Steve just, he's coming off TV. Plus Steve didn't do signings for ever. I've been doing signings since 96. Like Scott and I, as soon as that NWO thing hit, like we were at the Cow Palace and some guy offered us $3,500 each to go sign for 2 hours at some store in San Francisco. And we did it, and he handed us some $100 bills, and I was just like, oh, fuck, this is sweet. This is gangster money. So anyway, a guy came up to me and he said, "Did you hear?" And I said, "Hear what?" And I turned my phone off. I'm signing. I turned my, I can turn it over and I can see if I have a message, but it's not on vibrate. It's not on anything. Mm-hmm. And Tamara had already reached out to me. And he said, "Did you hear that they tried to assassinate?" The guy said they took a shot at Trump. And, I always read on the internet where people say, you hate Trump. And, they have like this is one of the things we'll go into today, of how they know me so fucking well and how I feel internally and how my brain functions better than myself because, they're the all-knowing. And the first thing out of my mouth was, "He's okay, right?" Like, that was the first thing out of my, I said, like, like, "He's okay, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, he got hit in the ear." And I'm like, "He got hit in the ear?" And I'm thinking, like, he got hit in the ear.
Were
like,
you thinking a punch when he said they took a shot at him, or you knew that he meant gunfire? Okay.
I knew the guy said. So I'm like, holy fuck. So I pick up my phone, and Tamara says they took a shot at Trump. So, they tried to assassinate Trump in Pennsylvania. And I thought, wow, Pennsylvania. It's a fucking purple state, but I mean, I'm just thinking. So I look at it and I see, and I see him, get down, and the coverage stopped because the coverage stopped on the thing I watched because the Secret Service stayed on top of him for so it didn't get to the point. I didn't get to get the beauty shot or anything else. So I finished what I was doing, and now it's like I've got to walk 100 yards from this arena to get to my room, and I'm like, fuck, man, like I can't wait to just sit down and fucking dissect this. So now I'm 3 hours difference.
Right.
So I finished signing maybe at 5:30. It's 8:30 on the East Coast. I think by that time he's walking out of the plane in Newark. And I looked at it, and then I'm like, how is that possible? And then the first thing I said when I sat down and watched the whole clip was I said to myself, who the fuck put a bunch of 5-foot women in his fucking security detail when he's like fucking 6'2"? Like I did that for a living. I was, even though I was guarding items vital to national security, I had top secret clearance. Like, I understand how it's like there's a reason that Hamburger Hill is Hamburger Hill, because we needed at that point in time high ground. There's a reason why if you go to Fort Mackinac, it's tall, and you go into the stockades in the corner, and because you clear the brush around there. And so then they show me the schematic, and there's that where the shot came from, and I immediately said, oh fuck, man, this is an inside job.
Well, I didn't go crazy like that, but I wondered how. Like, don't you stand knowing nothing about securing a president? Wouldn't you stand at the podium spot?
Can't. He's got teleprompters there.
No, but before, I'm saying, when you're scoping the area out for security, wouldn't you stand and go, what can see me pretty clearly here?
No.
And you would have caught that building.
No. You would have fucking came in 3 to 4 days ahead of time.
That's what I mean.
You would
stand there.
You wouldn't, but you wouldn't even do that. You would just schematically know where he's going to stand. What do? You secure every high spot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Fucking whatever her name is, Kim Cheadle. She's like, well, yeah, we didn't put somebody on the roof because it was, some kind of fucking embankment or, I'm thinking,
it was on a...
What?
No.
So and they had people in the fucking actual building, the glass and plastic manufacturing building. People were inside of it while this guy's on the roof.
And he was spotted also.
Oh, he was spotted by a guy that had
a uniform officer, right?
No, he was spotted by a guy with a fucking visor on, like an hour before the thing. It was just, and when you look at it and you look at the political ramifications of it, and he turns, and then you see that iconic picture that will be an iconic picture of him turning with the blood, coming across his face and him raising his fist, and you say, okay, I'm now in the cabinet for Joe Biden. That's now my job. And they just tried to kill basically the guy that's running against you, that in the polls has got you beat. After the Thursday debate, Kevin Nash is just like, fuck this. I mean, unless this is the tortoise and the hare story you're trying to tell me, but my money's on the fucking hare right now. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, fuck, man. Like, and the biggest thing to me is, man, if somebody would have killed him, we would have been like, January 6th would have been fucking romper room compared to the shit that would have went down. Because everybody believes, especially that is in his camp, believes that the fucking federal government has been after him.
Well,
and
you don't believe that this was the government trying to kill Trump, right?
Well, no, I don't think it was the government. But if I'm in a room with Biden and I'm part of his cabinet, I immediately, as soon as I see where the shooter was, I don't give a fuck if they haven't got an ID on him yet. As soon as I see the schematic, I fucking relieve fucking Cottrell. I relieve the fucking head of the Secret Service. I relieve her of her duty pending an investigation, because that's fucking unacceptable.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you there. But what tends to happen is the crazies come out, and then it goes to the next level. It was definitely a breakdown in security.
But that's the whole thing. So you've got guys and friends of mine that are Republicans that are fucking brilliant fucking guys, not fucking crack jobs or fucking wackos, and they're saying fucking that Biden's behind this. Okay, so you got to pick one. Either Biden is fucking weekend at Bernie's fucking dead, or he's the Manchurian candidate and he's fucking putting together covert fucking operations. You can't pick both. Right. You know, you can't pick the fact that he can't be. Listen to me. This is what we're gonna do, and if you don't get it, just ask my Vice President Trump. He'll tell you. Like, you can't pick both. He's either one or the other. So obviously he's not capable of putting this thing together.
Nor would the government choose a 20-year-old kid to pull off their big master plot. Ridiculous.
No, because he, number one, it's like he was 138 yards away. Like, Jesus, that's a fucking layup with a fucking AR. I mean, I'm talking with fucking metal sights you don't miss. And she's got to be gone, man. She's got to be. That's the only.
I think that'll happen, though. I think.
Yeah, but Biden waits and fucking.
It's not up to him. It's like complaining to Ronald McDonald when you get a bad Big Mac.
No. The narrative and the fucking and the optive is fucking. When you look at that, if he, instead of trying to call Trump and say, are you okay, and do all this other shit, and that's getting reported back to you. See, I immediately watched Fox's coverage because I wanted to watch. So I watched an hour straight of Fox, and because they're gonna, if anybody's gonna be able to get this and spin it, and they didn't fucking, they were appalled, but I was appalled. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like nobody. I don't want to see fucking Joe. I don't want to see any human being, especially a fucking American, and especially somebody that's. It's like I don't want to see anybody fucking get hurt. I don't watch those fucking Instagram things where fucking people fucking getting crashes, and I don't want to see people get hurt. I don't want to see their fucking. I mean, death is fucking is horrendous. It's, you know, he's got that fucking young kid. He's got boys, man. He's got girls. He's got daughters. It's like he's a dad. It's like, but you know me so well because I hate Trump. It's like, fuck you.
Well, to your point, I think you will see now. Who's in charge of? Is it DHS, Homeland Security? Who's in charge of the Secret Service, or is it what department would be? Who would be responsible for going in and removing her and replacing her? In there.
I don't know if they're a separate entity. I don't know. I would think they would be under Treasury. Well, they're definitely under the Treasury Department.
Okay,
because the Secret Service does the counterfeiting and all that. So they're under the Treasury Department.
So I think you'll see her relieved. It was an egregious breakdown, and I don't think it's defensible at all, really.
I had a conversation today with a very good friend of mine, one of my best friends, and I won't. Let's just say that he's known as the rattlesnake, and we kind of went over this scenario together back and forth, and he got hot and I got hot, and I don't mean this in any other way except the fucking way that I mean it. There are fucking times in our world, in our society, where you have to like, I'm trying. What's the word? Put it this. I'm just saying it the way I told Steve. I put it the way I told Steve. There's a fucking reason that there's not a female in SEAL Team 6. It's because
good.
It's the diversity. We've got to be diverse. That's our society. That's one of the fucking things that the right has run with. This diversity thing where, you know what? If a female can make it at SEAL Team 6, she'll get in there. But they won't fucking, because of the bar is raised so high in that like when you go in with Bin Laden, you're going in with your best. You're not really fucking worried about somebody saying, "Wow, there weren't any females in that crew." So
But don't you think though that if you're talking about the Secret Service, right? If a woman joined, women have been allowed to be in the Secret Service since 1971, so you don't put any male or female, anyone who, if the guy you're protecting is, what's Trump, 6'3", 6'2"?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you don't put anybody.
You don't put me on that stage either.
And I'm just like
at 5'9".
And on top of all that, they show the clip, and the one female officer, she can't fucking even holster a fucking weapon. It's like she's so fucking panicked out of her fucking mind. I'm just like, fuck, man, this is probably going to be our next president. And you motherfuckers are making sure that you're diverse. And as they take Trump off the ground, they're fucking putting their hand like, oh yeah, because everybody knows that fucking if there's a second shooter and they actually have a full metal jacket, that fucking hand that she puts up, as she on her tiptoes, that's gonna fucking block around. Jesus, I mean, it's like, fuck, okay, everybody out there, G.I. Jane, Demi Moore movie didn't happen. She didn't make the SEALs.
Right. Okay. So, but listen, diversity as a concept, not what it's become, not the bastardization of the concept, but the concept itself. Could you not have? You're talking about this one specific woman that you saw trying to holster the gun, and she was shorter, and couldn't she serve, but just not on the stage detail? Couldn't she be
absolutely
in the bleachers with binoculars? So you could still have your hiring practices, but it's the assignment.
I guarantee you, if she was put in a position where she was in charge of making sure that there wasn't anybody that could shoot the president. Like, you can't have, it's like she's not in the right position.
Right.
Who's to say that she's not the best marksman
who
with the
would be
rifle
on the,
of all of them, and you needed her up there next to the, like, she should be taken. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's fucking evident that they should, and all three of those women looked overweight to me, and the dudes didn't.
Isn't that better to absorb the bullet? Maybe you can cover the width, but maybe not the height.
No, it's just like, when you think of a Secret Service guy, you think about the guy that fucking, the minute fucking Hinckley got a round or two off, man, he just turned and fucking basically just in front of Reagan like this. Like, fuck, it, you know, like that's, you want that. You want you want some beasts, man. It's just, I was just so disappointed in that.
Well, you're going to have an investigation. You're going to have, I think you're going to see Kim Cheadle removed, probably. But I don't know that gender as a whole is where you go with it. I know a big part of the right is running with that.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that there are positions in this world. There's not a female offensive lineman in the NFL.
There's a WNBA and an NBA. You know, I totally get that. But they should all be able to play basketball. And maybe, right, if she was a marksman, maybe you assign her to the bleachers with the binoculars with a rifle.
If it's Nancy Pelosi, maybe that she'd be a good sign. I don't know how little Pelosi is. Maybe she's good for that.
Oh, guarding Pelosi because of the height. Right.
You know, I'm just saying though that it's just the optic of that. It just reeked of. And then the other thing is I look at, because everybody is now almost got a hard drive out of conspiracy theory. This is a 20-year-old shooter that's never voted. Like, voted for president. He was 16.
Right.
He has basically zero fucking social fucking media imprint. I mean, to the point of, when I heard that, you know, and this is before I you know, they got into his phone and he had pictures of Biden, he had Trump. I think he had the dude from the FBI. He had like some other. He had some things in his phone that, but I immediately thought that the kid was I was waiting for them to say he was a foster kid, and he'd been in the system. And I was going to be like, is this kid Russian? Like, is this a Russian operative? Like, that was where my mind went, because what more could you imagine going in on Monday to the fucking Republican, going into Milwaukee with Trump out?
You know, I know what you're saying, that it would have been a desirable thing for them, but my mind doesn't go there. You know why? Because there are so many poorly cared for mental health cases, people in this country with access to weapons at home, legally purchased, that's where I go automatically. I go to the loner theory. I go to the Columbine. The Columbine model is where I go first. Didn't know he would be that young. That's a little young.
That was two guys.
Columbine.
Yeah, it was two shooters.
Right, but I'm saying that model, the forgotten, the outcasted, the cast aside.
And then when it came down to it, though, I mean, even now, there was the first one where 2 or 3 people said, yeah, he was bullied, he was this, he was that. And then the majority of people were like, no, he wasn't bullied. He was an outcast. He wore hunting clothes a lot of the time, but he was very smart. You know?
No, it's not a matter of intelligence.
I know.
It's
I just, I just that whole thing, man, is just like it's. I feel like I'm in a Dolly painting half the time because everything is just so surreal. It's like wow, man. And then to watch, they say that they're going to tone down because of the attempt on Trump's life, that they're going to tone down the rhetoric, and one after another last night came on and basically said that Biden has allowed violence. It's all Biden's fault. Violence is up. So I went ahead and I said, you know what? Let me do a little research. So I'm going to give you the top 10 states per capita murder rate. Okay? Here we go. At number 1, at 20.5 per 100,000.
Go reverse. Go 10 down to 1.
10 up?
Well, one being the most violent, right? Do that last. Start at 10.
Okay. So number 10, wish I was in Rocky Top, the great state of Tennessee at 9.9 per 100,000 murders. Number 9, at 10.29, Arkansas. You got Little Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Now the number 8, Georgia, which is the first of the three. The three I've named, this is the first one that Biden took in the last election. Next state, New Mexico, 10.7. The next one is South Carolina, 10.72. Then we go Missouri at 14, Alabama at 14.2, Kentucky at 14.3, Louisiana at 15.7, Mississippi at 20.5. Of those 10, the 10 highest, Trump took 8 of them. They're all red states. They're all, I mean, you don't see New York. You don't see California. I mean, you don't see Michigan. Where's Illinois? You got Chicago. Where's that? That's not, Illinois isn't in there. So obviously it's a red state thing. So what is that? What are we talking? I mean, you can't go up there and spout your narrative if statistics don't fucking back it up.
Oh, politicians do it all the time.
I know, but it's and that's, there's so many people. How many people watched that last night, did what I did?
Probably not many. And
took
certainly
the time to see which states were the most violent, and then when the map came up, looked and went, holy shit, it's all deep south.
Has the NRA issued a statement yet on the attempted assassination?
Not that I've seen.
Right. I'm wondering when that was going to come. They're waiting for that. Well, I'm just, could this get any? Could it have gotten any? If I asked you 2 weeks ago, could it have gotten any more ridiculous?
It's after the fucking, and then on top of all that, because my phone is like our phone bill is in my wife's name, so my phone gets, and hers doesn't get them. I've got every block mechanism on earth. I, on a daily basis, get something from the Democratic Party asking for me to give money or asking me which way I'm going to vote. And poor Tamara, because I know this is being hooked to her, because like she holds it, like if you like tell me to type, so I type go fuck yourself Like today they asked
That's what
me,
you reply to the text looking
to the
for
text.
money.
Go fuck yourself. Today they say Rachel Maddow is reaching out, and we've got it because of the push of the Republican. They're telling me all the reasons and everything else. They says, and I typed change your candidate. Like, so and poor Tamara, like, they're probably like, God, this woman is fucking. Are you sure she's a Democrat?
What are we looking at here? Steve just brought up. Is this? This is one of those solicitations, I guess, from.
Is it Bernie Sanders?
Is it Bernie? Bernie sending some texts.
Yeah. No, I get one, like, and some of them are like they're kind of pushy. Like, this is the third time we've reached out. We're getting a little perturbed. Which way are you gonna vote? I'll put, motherfucker, if you bother me again, I guarantee it's Trump.
Right.
Like, fucking, like, I got a call today. It's on my voicemail. It comes up. It's got the block thing on it, but it's still got, it's went to my voicemail. 412 area code. It's Pennsylvania. So I'm like, I listen to the thing. Sounds like it's AI, but it's not. It sounds kind of like it's a call center, and the guy gives his first and last name. So I say, fuck it, man. I'm out getting some sun. I said, fuck it. I got nothing to do but be a dick. So I call the guy, and he's probably from Bangalore or someplace. He definitely is got a Indian or Pakistan accent.
Mm-hmm. So not Pittsburgh, as the number would have indicated.
Not a Steel City guy. So I said, yeah, this is Nash. I said, you fucking called me 3 times. And he says, he goes on his fucking spiel, and he tells me that I have an unclaimed certified check for $3.5 million, along with a $7,000 a month for life situation. And he just leaves it at that. He goes, we can't get it to 4220 Atlantic Avenue. We keep getting it back. That's not my fucking address.
Right.
So I said to him, well, fuck. I said, if you want, I said, I'd be more than happy to send you my fucking, my wire information. Because you can't, it's, my shit's set up. You can't pull off my fucking wire. You can send into it. I said, you can just, I said, you know what? I said, I'll cut you guys a break. I said, I don't even need the $7,000 a month. Just send me the 3.5. He goes, oh, well, there's a catch, you got to pay 1% of the taxes. I said, so I got to send you $35K to fucking get my money. I said, why would I send you 1% when I'm going to fucking pay fucking 28% in fucking taxes? And I said, this wouldn't happen to be a scam, would it? The guy hangs up the phone. I'm like, and somebody out there fucking is.
They just need one.
I said to myself, I'm just like, wow, man.
Yeah.
What a fucking world we live in.
Fishing. Anytime they start asking you about anything financial, anything.
Anytime anything costs you.
Right, of course.
It's wrong.
Right.
Timeshares are notorious for that. We see that you've got a timeshare. I said, no, I don't have a timeshare. I have a fractional ownership. He goes, well, same thing. I'm like, no, dude, if you worked for the company, you'd know this is, I said, this is not a timeshare. I have a set month. It's not transferable. It's like this. I said, this isn't a timeshare. If I don't rent it, it sits fucking for that month with nobody in it. and I pay that 1/12 of fucking taxes. So I said, don't tell me. I said, you don't know what my situation is. You don't know what I said, you know nothing except you've got some bits and pieces of fucking some scam fucking information, and you think I'm going to fall for it. Oh, Mr. Nash, he goes on and on and on. I said, you know what? If you want to joust back and forth, I said, I'd be more than happy to. I said, I do it with Delta fucking on a weekly basis. You know.
I'll tell you, I had my wife had a terrible experience with JetBlue trying to get out of Florida and get home, and they canceled the flight. Remember, when I was talking to her, she was delayed, but they ended up canceling it.
Well, you said she was going to get canceled.
Yeah, I figured it was coming, and it came, and like they were so rude at they were put off by the fact that people were annoyed that they couldn't get a flight, and so they ended up giving her a flight on the 22nd, Monday. So 5 days. They don't offer lodging, anything like that. I mean, if there wasn't a house down there.
And there's laws now where they have to compensate you.
Here's how they got around it. You're correct. And she asked about that because she said, what is going on? She said, I'm hearing JFK got canceled, Newark got canceled. What's going on in New York? They said it's traffic. And the way he explained it, he goes, if you got 3 lanes and, 6 planes, we can't do it. So she said, okay, well, give me the money back. And so then they come back and they go, it's traffic because of weather. Because weather's the one thing they don't have to, because it's your safety.
Right.
So they don't have to compensate you.
But what they always do is they fuck up, and they start off by telling the truth.
Correct. And then they have to backtrack.
They start off by saying, we have a mechanical issue.
Right.
So the minute they do that, that's when I email Delta.
You go right for it, right?
Right for it, man. Boom. I'm going to get my paper trail set up. So... And they did it on that flight to Jackson, and it ended up being 4 hours. And we're going back and forth. So then I go on my app and I start to look at my flights, and everything now to requalify for diamond status is how much money you spend. So you have to spend $35,000. So I and they used to, anytime you flew on a Delta flight, electronically it would send you the breakdown of your receipt, what the fare was, what the taxes were. That's no longer there because now, so I'm looking at a flight that I got coming up to Munich, and the flight's $8,000, and I look on my sheet of coming up, and they're getting ready to credit me $1,114, which must be what a coach ticket is. So they're thinking I'm not going to catch this. So now I go back through from Atlanta to Huntsville, but from Daytona Beach to Daytona Beach to Atlanta to Jackson, it's like $212 I got credited. I look up the flights. I can't find a flight for less than $1,200 round trip. So I get a guy on the thing yesterday. I get him on the phone, and I'm like, this is a fucking scam. Like, you're scamming me. Like, this is... Like you, because I've already got an American Express card, and I won't get an American Express card, and I won't use your Delta American Express card to get that, to spend $60,000 or say $35,000 on my American Express. You're trying to fuck me, and you think I'm some idiot, but I got 3 million miles. So I said, the problem is this, sir. I said 99% of the time when I have an issue and I talk to somebody at the Diamond Desk, I said they have 20 years less experience than I do in dealing with the airlines and dealing with I'll sit there and I'll tell a person, no, it's this flight number, it's this time. And they're like, I can't find that, sir. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm on your fucking site. How do you not fucking find this? And I'm just like, give me some. And as soon as you say, give me somebody else, bitch, you just went from being Diamond 3 billion miles to being a cocksucker, and you're going to be on hold for 15 fucking minutes. So you might as well just say, you know what? Fuck you. You don't know what you're doing. If this is your job, you probably should have a backup, then hang up the phone.
Well, I tweeted, and I put JetBlue in the tweet about what happened. And they wrote me and gave me a DM link and said, click the DM link and let us know what we can do. See, when she was on the phone one-on-one, nope, no flights. And she ends up having to book it for the 22nd. And the shithead at the desk, who she was having an issue with, when she walked away, she was on the phone with me. I said, you sure you got the flight? You sure? She's like, yeah, I got it. She gets away. She goes on the app. He never did it, the prick. So she gets on the phone. She books it. So I tweet, and they write me back. I told them the whole story, a maniacal but well thought out recounting of the entire unprofessional, awful time. Yeah, that was the tweet. And then I just dropped in the DM that they sent me, everything that happened, everything that, I mean, my wife runs a nonprofit. She flies kids to competitions. She used JetBlue last year for 50 tickets for parents. And, this is ongoing business. So I put all that in there. Suddenly there's a flight Saturday. So she's on that. But I had to fucking tweet it to my, compared to you, pathetic 12,000 people. One-on-one on the phone, they ain't giving you dick.
Doesn't matter.
12,000 people see it.
If you can get 3 people not to use that airline, that's a win, man.
Right.
Fuck them. Like I told the guy that the guy I talked to yesterday was, I mean, he was, I think I could tell that he had been there fucking probably 20 years, because he was the only person that, when I said, this is a scam, I said, explain to me. He says, you know what? He said, I can't, but let me, can you hold on? I said, before you put me on hold, I said, after 2 minutes, I said, I'm done, and I'm going to be hitting my, my ex. I'm going to be dropping a bomb on you fuckers. So just know, And he said, no, I'll be right back. So he came back and he goes, okay, what they're telling me is, and he gives me this whole rundown. And I said, ugh. I said, are you buying it? He goes, no. I said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, so we're on the same page. He says, yeah. I said, I think what it is with Delta, I said, I think because United and American are so fucking bad that that somebody that flies like first class wants a premium airline, like American isn't even, it's not even in the discussion anymore. Like you get on an American flight and their entertainment system is a fucking harness that holds your phone sideways. That's your entertainment system.
You bring your own entertainment
system. Yeah, you bring your entertainment. You better bring a tablet and turn that bitch sideways and plug into their fucking Wi-Fi, because they ain't got shit. And I'm just like, wow, all the motherfuckers that like live in Dallas, that's their hub. And they really don't have many choices. And it was so funny because he said, it's funny you say that, because my wife, he said my what do they call it? My in-laws live in Chicago, and he said when we fly, he goes, it's just if we try to fly Delta, it ends up taking us to Denver or Salt Lake City, and then because they fly free. So he said, it's just easier for us to fucking take a direct flight into Chicago on United. He says, but my God, he goes, every time we fly with them, You know, he said it's like to go through fucking Chicago, and you know, Chicago. I remember when I first got in the business, you would walk through Chicago and be like, this is a functional airport. Now it's not like I fucking grew. It's just that for some reason, and they do it in Atlanta now too. So where the people just they stand like in the fucking like in the middle of the terminal and like these two fucking packs, and there's barely like this 2-person and you gotta fucking scream it. It's just like fuck, man.
Yeah. The whole
Traveling
thing's
is a
bad.
motherfucker.
Oh, it's awful. But I do want to thank Jamie and Sue of JetBlue, who, when they saw the tweet, jumped on and said, "What can we do?" And I told them the whole thing. They said, "Well, pick a time Saturday. Here's 3 times." Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, let my people go.
But Sue and Jamie, thank you very much. You stay in Florida long enough, you start to get a little weird, as we know from our Florida guys. But Kevin, you have not once asked me about my butthole, despite my prompting you time and again.
I mean,
through my shirt.
How many times? I mean, how many times do I have to ask you about it?
Yeah, exactly.
You
I meant today. On
air,
air, exactly.
Okay. Well,
Kevin, I'm excited about Tushy, and that's why I'm wearing this. It says, "Ask me about my butthole." It says Tushy on the back, if you could see that. Tushy, Kevin, you're asking me what this is. You know what this is because you have one too. We both have one now. Thank God. You know, the easiest way to describe this, you know how like licking the wing sauce off your finger or like using the wipe is far better than the dry napkin? Bidets do the same thing for your ass, okay? It's a precise stream of clean water to hit the right spot. Instead of, listen, toilet paper, all you're doing, it's falling apart. It's smearing the stuff all over your ass. Wet wipes, you can't flush them. So this is the answer. Tushy, okay? The modern bidet. For people who poop, which I think is everybody. How many million are we talking about? 2+ million butts are loving this already. I do. I like to have the 3-stream nozzle for a total clean. The Tushy Travel I want to talk about for a minute here too, because this is the game changer. All right, there's a lot of bidets available But with Tushy, they have a travel model, the 3-stream nozzle, an air mesh bag for discreet travel, faster dry time because of the mesh. And so you could take this with you, or you can do the one I have, the installed one, super, super quick and easy. The installation, anyone can do it. We're talking under 10 minutes. Even Kevin can do it.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
With barely a tool. I had pliers. I did it with pliers just to tighten the gimmick, and that was it. 10 minutes will truly change your life. Wiping with toilet paper, it's passé. Okay, you've got to try this. It spreads bacteria when you want smearing that stuff around, causes chronic infections like the hemorrhoids, UTIs, yeast infections, anal fissures. Tushy bidets are easy to use. Just sit down, relax, turn the knob, spray a precise stream of fresh water to your butt. Every Hello Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and 12-month warranty. This is one of those things I'd love to share myself using on social media, but it just can't happen for obvious reasons. I'll have to find a way to do it. Loving my Tushy right now, guys. So stay shower fresh all summer long. Join the 2 million butts who already switched to Tushy. For a limited time, our listeners are going to get 10% off their first bidet order when you use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet at hellotushy.com with promo code KLIQ. That's HELLOTUSHY.com. Promo code KLIQ. Take care of your ass, guys. Come on.
You know, it's a great product. I mean, I had like, I didn't bring it on the road with me, and it's like after 2 days of having it before I left, I was just like, wow, like I remember, like when I lived in Europe, like it was
Yeah.
like it was just second nature, and but at the same time, remember when we talked about when you go to a hotel? I think it was I went to New Orleans. I talked about, man, all they gave was white.
Oh, the washcloths?
Yeah, washcloths. And I said, fuck. I said, I spent more time cleaning the shit out of the fucking washcloths with shampoo so you don't look like you're fucking a heathen to the housing crew. And we didn't get a response to that. I'm like, are people so fucking hung up? Like, everybody fucking dumps. If you don't, you die.
Yeah.
I mean, ask John Wayne.
And what a barbaric when you use this for a while, when you're using a bidet for a while, and then you gotta use the toilet. What a barbaric way to go about cleaning your ass. That dry toilet paper. Big fan of the bidet. Lanny Poffo was also, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, my wife has always bought like that's like. There's things in life you don't scrimp on. One of them's like the fucking toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't scrimp on poultry. You don't there's like things you put in your body you don't scrimp on.
Right.
You don't scrimp on fucking like your vehicle. You get like, but you don't fucking you're not trying to impress anybody. You want something that's that. To me, I watch the on Instagram where they have those vehicles that hit like the cement wall at like 40 miles an hour.
The test dummies,
no, it's just the vehicle. They just like, fuck, man, like that small Ford Bronco, not the bigger one, but the smaller one. That motherfucker at 30 miles an hour hits the cement. I mean, everybody in that motherfucker's dead.
Mm.
And you watch it, and it's just like Volvos fucking do well on almost all. Like some of them are the car will be against the wall bumper, and then a fucking truck will hit it from behind, and it'll show the damage it does like front and back. And like Volvos, Audis, and surprisingly, but not when you think about it, Ford Explorers. Ford Explorers do incredibly well. And if you think about it, especially where I live, almost all the police vehicles are Ford Explorers. So, it would make sense that they would, with the high-speed chases and other things they're not supposed to do, that they would have Ford Explorers. So,
yeah. Well, you get it. Clearly, you get it about vehicles and
bidets.
And bidets, yeah, your ass.
And I also, Steve, is there any way we could pull up Project 2025?
Oh, God.
Is there any
We're
way
not winding this down anytime soon.
Is there just, I mean, because
we've got a lot of material this week. The RNC has given us a ton of material.
I was talking to one of my closest friends on the planet, and it was a castmate of mine where we became friends on Magic Mike, Adam Rodriguez, and we were talking. Adam also a Democrat, but I mean really a very rational human being, like somebody that when I have dialogue with him, and we like an hour later, I feel like we don't work each other up. Steve and I, like, we worked each other into a shoot today because he's just like, but Steve's like I am too. Steve really doesn't go anyplace. Just him and his wife spend 90% of their time together, and like Steve, like I'll bitch about traveling, and he's like, Kev, that's why I don't fucking travel. Like, I don't fucking, he said, I don't want to leave my fucking state. He goes, fuck, I don't want to leave my house. And so, but, at the end of it, we Steve and I changed topics, and then we just talked about other shit. And then we always usually touch on mortality, because I think Steve will be 60 in December. And I turned 65 last Tuesday, I think it was. And this was a crazy one. I jump around a little bit here, but I'll go back to Adam. I was pumping gas, and it was like, I think it was the day before my birthday. And I was pumping gas, and I just, hot as fuck, and just standing out there pumping gas. And that Mustang, it only takes, usually I don't let my car get below a quarter, so it's like maybe 10 gallons of gas. But I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm just amazed that I'm buying fucking $50 worth of gas, And like, gas is so fucking expensive. Because I got that Coyote, I got to run fucking premium in it.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, I just came to the realization of, like the average age that you live on this planet as a male is about 75 years old. And so what was I doing when I was 55? I said, I was shooting Magic Mike. Wow. That seems like a fucking week ago.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, man, like, for the first time in my life, when you get to be 65 years old, and you have to fucking, you've got to sign up for Medicare. You don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to like look left, because when you look left, you're like, oh, fuck, man, that's the last fucking curve. Like, like you're looking around like, oh, fuck, that's the last curve. Like, this is it. We're going to and then if you squint, you can see that motherfucker holding that white flag, like, oh, that's the finish line. Holy fuck. And you have this epiphany. But then at the same time, how they say, like, your life flashes before you when you die?
Mm-hmm.
Right then, my life flashed before me, and I said, dude, you have fucking lived an unbelievable life.
Right.
I mean, and I just sat there, and this is what my rant was based on. Everybody thinks they know me. They don't know the Kevin Nash that worked at the chicken processing plant. They don't know the Kevin Nash that worked construction. They don't know the Kevin Nash that worked on the assembly line. They don't know the Kevin Nash that fucking had top secret clearance, that sat in a fucking booth on Christmas after fucking smacking my coach and losing my scholarship, and fucking realizing now that I'm in the fucking Army and I fucked up my entire life, and I fucking put a live round in that fucking M16 and put it in my fucking mouth because it's Christmas, and think about fucking, what the fuck? My girlfriend fucking left me. My life's fucking over. Why not just blow my fucking brains out? But I didn't, for some reason, because I guess I was destined to be the world's most mediocre 2-time Hall of Fame wrestler. So, you look at your life, and you look at all the people and all the places and everything that you've done, and you're like, man, like, fuck, like, it's so incredible and it's so fast. I saw a thing with Michael Keaton the other day, and they asked him, because, it was kind of like the same kind of thing where he was touching on mortality, and he said, Matt, he goes, when you get a chance, he said, in life, he said, the one thing you should, he had to tell people, he said, spend as much time as possible with your children.
Mm.
Like, that's like, was his. And I remember I read like a statistic. This was after T passed. And it's like, after a child turns like 18 years old, that the parents basically have 4 years of interaction total with their child after that. Like it's 4, like it's, you know, if
Like
they
the
were
aggregate,
still,
if you added up every
yes.
minute, it would only come to 4.
And
Wow.
I look at that and I say, wow, man, like we, you know, in a way, I mean, it's as horrific as it still is on a daily basis. It's those little things like that, and I say to myself, man, like T was here to, you know, like T fucking basically passed in this fucking room. Like he was with us. We were always together.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as COVID, I know a lot of people that lost people during COVID, and COVID was such a horrible time, but it was such a, because I know I'm slowly becoming more of a hermit. And it was so fucking nice, man, just the 3 of us to be in the house.
Yeah.
And just, you know, it was just like, and, you know, I think that I know that I'll never get over it, like the loss of my son. And people, you know, that's another thing I see a lot of times where people will say, you know, Nash seems very disinterested on the show. Or I thought this would be this. Or when this show took off, I thought this would be this. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? I thought that fucking at this point, 107 or 108 episodes in, I'd be looking across and seeing my fucking son. So if I sometimes seem a little fucking different, and you ain't been in these fucking shoes, do me a favor. Don't fucking watch. Go fuck off. Fuck you. You know? Fuck you. Who are you to judge me? Don't point a fucking finger at me and say I got a bad attitude or I did it for the money. Yeah, goddamn right I did it for the money. It was a job. I wanted to fucking make sure, because my son was fucking autistic and on the spectrum, that there was fucking a ton of fucking cash and he was never going to need for anything once I was gone. I didn't know I'd fucking outlive him. So, fuck you.
Well, Kev, you know, these aren't people that know you that say these things like you're
of course
saying
they're not,
here.
but
it doesn't come from a place of anyone who's educated by who you are, and flippant comments like that are. I honestly don't know if it's better or worse to have feedback on anything you do publicly now. I'm not just talking about this show. I'm saying everything's instant feedback now. You know, if you were still in the ring, Kev, the difference between now and 1995 would be that tomorrow you'd read 50,000 comments. It wouldn't only be the dirt sheets commenting
but
on
see,
what's going
it's
on.
completely different when you're being compensated. I don't make any money doing this fucking show.
You make some money.
Yeah, I don't make
Well,
any
yeah,
money.
but the scale you're using is you're running
the
WWE
scale-
scale.
Well,
You know,
I mean,
it can't
I
be.
have a. I mean, it's this doesn't. You know. In my
A lot of people would be happy to be making.
Oh, yeah,
with
my-
their podcast.
in my past life, this would not cover my fucking my monthly wine intake. Because that's what I did. I went from $40 bottles of wine to $90 and $120 bottles of wine, because I was like, well, I got this extra money that I don't need, so I'll go ahead and fucking drink really good wine. But no, it's just this. I get so tired of everybody's. It's like, oh, I have to say one thing, and I want to make sure that this gets out as I'm on a rant. So I listened to the whole clip from Konnan, not just the clip that I was fed,
Right.
but the whole clip. And what fucking I heard was a clip that basically said Nash and Hall took their ball and went home. And it was like, those guys fucking, like, he put me over strong as fuck. And then he said, hey, man, they fucked with his boy. And fucking they said, you know what? Fuck you. And then they played on their show. They played that clip, and then they also played a clip that Scott, where Scott had did an interview about it, and basically it was the same thing where Scott said, fuck it, man. He said, wasn't like we weren't going to go out there and not get over at everybody's expense, but as far as helping people, fuck them. So I to Carlos, I apologize. I didn't, and I think we all need to do that in life. I think we need, especially with this clickbait fucking internet bullshit that these wrestling podcasts do, where they fucking try to especially the bottom feeders, they try to stir up shit and get a rub off your fucking name and your hard work and your ability to fucking make and draw money, and they try to get the rub, and it doesn't. And 9 times out of 10, they get 2 fucking gulps of air, and they realize they can't tread water much longer, and they sink. We've seen them come and go. Will Sasso, who I fucking appreciate in a comedic sense, his impression of Kevin Nash is this: Jake the Snake Roberts, never really had a problem with him. And that's where, I never had a problem with him. If that's my legacy in life, Kevin Nash,
I didn't have a problem with anyone.
I didn't have a problem with him.
Right.
No, but that's it. I don't have a problem. That's what people don't get. Like, I don't give a fuck if you like me. I don't give a fuck. Show used to be good. Hey, motherfucker, why are you typing something to me that the show used to be good? Do you think I'm going to fucking say, oh my God, I've got to look up fucking P. Tool and fucking get a hold of him and sit down because we just lost Chevrolet as a sponsor? My fucking co-host has got a shirt asking how's my fucking butthole. Anybody else got one on? Huh?
No.
Obviously, we must be touching some fucking vibe out there somewhere that nobody else is touching, because we're the only ones that fucking are selling a fucking bidet. Fucking while we got fucking. I took a red eye and put that fucking Mandow on. I got off that fucking red eye. Shit, I smell like a fucking French whore. That shit, man. I everybody else smelled like kitty litter. I fucking jumped off that motherfucker, man. I was like, fucking Mandow, sweet.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Pop Blue Chew, head home with your man, though. Clean yourself off. While I mentioned Blue Chew, I should tell people that one of our sponsors for this episode is Blue Chew. And if you want to be as hard as the summer day is long, then get yourself a Blue Chew and bring the heat. Bring the summer heat. Blue Chew, if you don't know already, and I can't imagine anyone doesn't, is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost, in chewable form. The process is simple. You're going to go sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you receive the prescription within days. Best part about it, all done online, no visits to the doctor, the pharmacy, anything like that. Boom, you go right now and you'll have it in a few days, okay? Take them anytime, day or night. Plan ahead and be ready whenever the opportunity arises, and Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. You can go discover your options at BlueChew.com. We have a special deal, as always, for you guys. Try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code NASH at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code NASH to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring us.
I don't know if anybody out there is like a newbie to the fucking taking as I call them, performance-enhancing drugs.
Drugs, yes.
But like Blue Chew. But if you're going to start someplace, I think the starting place is the equivalency of Cialis. I think that's the one you want, because it's you kind of get the like the Viagra and the others, you kind of have to take and then wait for them to kick in. Where you just, especially like you can get a low dose Cialis and take it daily, and
just becomes part of your regimen. You pop it. And
and then you're ready to go 24/7. But also, man, it keeps your prostate fucking small.
Well, when you go to BlueChew.com, you're going to see you get to choose which of the options you want. And Kevin's recommending the one with the Cialis drug in it.
And that's starts with the T. The drug's name I can't remember. Talent something or whatever the fuck.
Well, everyone goes and does that. I should. Why don't we do a Florida Man, Jersey guy real quick here?
Yeah, go ahead and get good and boned. Get boned up and listen to this.
Yeah, this will be the refractory period where it's building up.
I just want to say that Wes, I was just because you said for me to rant, but I waited.
Two headlines. One a Jersey guy
one more
headline,
thing, real
one
quick.
A Florida Man headline.
And
You're
Wes,
the Florida Man today, for God's sake.
Yeah, I am. Wes, absolutely on the thumbnail. Spot fucking on. We can discuss it for 20 seconds after the show. But
good.
It's like, too iconic to pass up. Boom, just throw it up there. We'll get fucking hits.
All right, two headlines. Which is Florida? Which is Jersey? You could play along at home.
I'm kind of in a slump.
A little bit of a slump last week and maybe the week before or 2 weeks before or something like that.
Well,
let's see if you can redeem yourself here. First one, man raged over melted chocolate bar, shot dead by cops. And next one, man arrested for locking ex in a crawl space. Man raged.
Right, I'm going to say seconds. I'm going to go Florida for the second one because rarely do we have basements in Florida, but there are crawl spaces. So I'm going to go second one because of lack of basements in Florida because of and the other one would be, of course, Jersey.
Kevin, the slump continues, Kevin.
Oh.
The gentleman with the chocolate. Florida man raged over melted chocolate bar, shot dead by cops. Here is the story. According to a video shared by Polk County Sheriff's Office, Henry Maynard shot dead Friday night following a confrontation with a deputy. Maynard was visiting his grandmother in Winter Haven, decided to take a nap. When he was asleep, Grandma placed an Almond Joy on his computer, and when he woke, the chocolate had melted, and he went into a rage. Okay, and carried on and went berserk, and cops ended up shooting him after he grabbed a bag, hopped in a car, and insanity ensued.
See, it's kind of hard to do these when it's just so generic like that.
This is all in the behavior. And
no,
I'm saying in the behavior.
I'm just saying. I'm saying in the man, chocolate melts and a man fucking gets shot. Like, if I knew it was an Almond Joy on his computer, those are the specifics that fucking, because all I've got is a crawl
You
space.
got the headline. All you get is the headline.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just like, I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I mean, yeah, I'm in a slump, but I mean, not as bad as the guy that got fucking gunned down for fucking the Almond Joy.
Melted Almond Joy. His grandmother trying to do something nice.
Well, I mean, who fucking unwraps a fucking bar and puts the fucking... I mean, I know they come in two pieces. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't, man. That motherfucker felt like a nut and he got gunned down.
All right, as always, the high spot of the show brought to you by our friends Mickey, Ray, Sinatra, and Courtney at our favorite supplement to get us where we want to go. It's called GetBlitzed Lit Aid.
I wish I would have.
Get blitzed?
Yeah, I wish I would have got blitzed tonight.
Delta 9 THC sip and syrup is what Kev's talking about, and if you tried it, you
it's
know
only
the
9.
magic. 9:16.
Yeah,
the night is young.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm gonna go home and watch the rest of this. So I'll definitely I'll be getting blitzed, Mick. Cut me, Mick.
Put your syrup, cut them, give them a little syrup, give them a little juice, a little syrup, okay? That's what we're talking about. It's THC sipping syrup. Goes into your beverage of choice, a tea, a white soda, an energy drink with as little as a teaspoon. Fast onset. We're talking 5 to 15 minutes, so please drink responsibly. Nano-infused means it goes right into your bloodstream, too, by the way. Bypasses the breakdown in the liver. Works like alcohol, okay? If you're in Maryland, you can visit a Stay Lit Smoke shop, but for the rest of us, it's legal to ship right from the GetBlitzed website to all 50 states without a Met card, as long as you're over 21. So go save your 15%, by the way, that the promo code Kliq is going to get you. Go to get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com and use the promo code Kliq, Kliq, to save 15%. And good things coming from our friends at GetBlitzed, which we can advertise very soon.
Yes.
And good things coming from you. Our questions, hashtag Ask Nash is how you can participate, or you can go to KliqThisTV.com and join the 11 Soft Club and be here to ask questions.
Does anybody notice that I fucking went with the goatee tonight?
Oh, are you shaved on the side?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's good. A little Robert Bork, if you remember it was
actually Jason Bourne, but I'll take
Robert Bork, or it was the guy from Batman 2 had the gimmick going too. How about our audience? Why don't we start with our live audience today? Everyone's been plowing through. Ace Ramon, is the Project 2025 the new bunkhouse stampede? Where Kev, you did call for this before, Kev. You asked Steve to pull up the now Project 2025, for anyone who doesn't know, living under a rock, the Heritage Foundation sponsored policy proposals for the fascist state they would like the country to become.
So let me just go ahead and
Kev's got, when he's got notes, he's on fucking fire today.
Oh, while I'm at it, rest in peace to Bob Newhart.
Bob Newhart, yes.
Who I remember when I was a kid, and he was on the Johnny Carson show, and this is how Johnny Carson gave him his intro. He said, my next guest is such a class act that he actually gets out of the shower if he has to urinate.
That's good.
That's what Carson said, and I mean that stuck with me. One of the greatest, you've got to, we have the ability now with YouTube and everything else to watch his stand up.
Oh, really?
Him and Norm Macdonald, and did Wes send it today, or who sent the clip from Saturday Night Live? Dom did. Okay, so I had never seen that clip of the skit that he did that was Norm's, but when I read that, I went down another rabbit hole, and the best thing, but Dom covered it, was it's I believe it was a tweet that he said that when Newhart would go and he'd watch young comedians like Catch a Rising Star or whatever, he said, like, okay, that guy's doing Leno and that guy's doing, so and so. That guy's. He said when he saw Norm Macdonald, he said, "Fuck, man, that guy's doing him." Yeah. Like nobody does Norm but Norm. But anyway, they showed and Norm was a huge fucking fan of Newhart's, which of course, I mean, with delivery and some of the other things, and I just because my son was such a Norm fan, he'd go into Norm mode. I'd have to drag him out of it. Like, come on, T, just talk to me like you, like But,
I can see how that might be grating after about 20 minutes of living with Norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so rest in peace to Bob Newhart. And like I said, a lot of people don't realize what a great stand-up he was.
Yeah.
It's just incredible, just delivery and timing. But
speaking of comedy, Project 2025. Steve, bring up the graphic we had while Kevin.
Let's see. There's just a few that because they really went after the middle class.
So here are some key points. These are concepts supported. This is nothing in Congress. This is nothing. These are our wish list from about 100 conservative groups.
So let's just look at immigration here.
All right, let's go down to number 2, immigration. Increased funding for a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border, consolidation and expansion of powers for immigration agencies, higher fees on immigrants with fast-tracked applications for those who pay a premium, and stricter immigration enforcement and revised policies. Now, in those broad terms, it would seem that that's all reasonable.
But when it comes down to like fucking, like
the
mass,
fine print,
mass, and this thing is like 900 pages long.
Right.
What does it say about mass deportation? Right? Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. Here we go.
The mass deportation system.
Sweeping raids and detentions.
Where are we putting them, by the way?
But fucking widespread searches across the country to locate unauthorized immigrants and deport millions annually. I mean, it's just like, wow.
Construction of extensive facilities
to hold
house,
individuals. Yeah. Like, the country's going to be, I guess, what else are you going to do with Mississippi? Nobody wants to learn in the States.
Just
you might as well
put some giant bunkers there to and speed the system. Make it a big
elimination of legal protections.
Proposes
military.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Does it eliminate? Oh, the birthright's gone. Birthright citizenship. That's gone. Where's that at?
Calls for eliminating family-based immigration, which could impact birthright citizens' ability to sponsor family members.
Yeah, proposed removing the important benefits of unaccompanied children, which could affect U.S. Not exactly what.
You got to drill down a little bit, huh? You got to drill down into the.
Let's look at Medicare, Medicaid. It's Medicaid, I think, is the one that's. Let's do Medicaid, taxation of the middle class. Okay, we'll eliminate Medicaid and tax the middle class. We'll probably get.
All right. So up to the minute updates here. The plan proposes converting federal Medicaid funding to block grants or per capita caps. This would limit federal funding to states, likely resulting in deep cuts to Medicaid spending over time. And
then basically another one of the things is they're going to return all the cuts that were like on insulin and all those are being retracted.
Right, under Biden,
Here's one plan to propose cutting Social Security benefits by raising the retirement age.
What about?
Where's the taxation? Isn't that like the advocates for? I know one of the things was that there was going to be taxation and funding for church-based schools.
I know they're going to try to limit technology companies that allow access to pornography. I saw very briefly there as Steve scrolled through. I don't know why my eyes find that more quickly than anything else.
And you know the funny thing is as we go through this, the far right Christian conservatives and the white supremacist Christians and everybody else, they're in such disarray over the fact that Vance was chosen and he has a Hindi wife.
I saw
that's
that.
That's not a Christian. I mean, it's like you talking about. I mean, if you're going to run this, and you're in a pretty strong position, like at this point right now, do you not double down? Like I would think that Rubio, with his ability to draw the Latino, the Cuban, that to draw that demographic would be, and then on top of that, he's not super offensive to like the suburban housewives.
No, but he's a strong personality, and Trump, who's a bit of a dolt, he needs somebody who will just suck his dick about everything and defer to him. I think Rubio would be someone who would offer too much pushback. He's too strong a personality, I think, for Trump.
Well,
Pence was a puppet.
Vance for 4 years basically called Trump Hitler, and
then came a running when Trump tapped him.
Yeah, it went to suck Trump's cock, and to his disarray, chipped his front teeth on the back of Nikki Haley's head.
Right. She got there first.
I didn't see that fucking coming.
Yeah.
Jesus, like, mother, you know what, man? Like, I just,
They're all whores. They're all whores. There's no honor. Their word doesn't mean anything.
How about Elon Musk fucking giving $45 million a month to the PAC to Trump?
Yeah.
When like the law is like $3,500, but he's because of this PAC bullshit. So you don't think that fucking Elon's buying his fucking AI fucking restrictive free Teledyne fucking industries are gonna be fuck the military. They won't, you won't be able to have the right to peaceful protest because they'll fucking send the cyborgs.
Yeah, that's a business decision on Mr. Musk's part, obviously. Yeah, so this is but Trump, to his credit, said a lot of that is ridiculous. He spent a great deal of time trying to distance himself from it. At first, hadn't barely heard of it, doesn't know anybody involved with it. This all turns out not to be true, of course. Doesn't mean he's going to adopt any of it, but it's something that'll be discussed.
Well, they did say that they were going to take a lot of the civil service workers. They were going to take to fire them and put loyalists in those positions. Vance doubled down on that last.
Well, that'll happen regardless of this.
Right.
But yeah. But I feel like some of this, Kevin, is the liberal panic, like using this most extreme fear tactic, where just like the other side does with some of this crazy shit that the woke generation comes up with, that they want everyone to think that they would stick a dress on everybody.
In today's society, if you don't have a LGBTQ family member or a mixed marriage in your family, it's like that's as American as anything in 2024. And I just...
which is why a lot of this is not going to would never fly, even with a lot of conservatives in Congress.
To me, it's even that somebody... It's not denounced, put it that way. Because everything is run... Like, I would just flat out say, Vance flat out says that if your stepfather rapes you, you will not be allowed to get an abortion.
So why not come out definitively against some of these other things in the,
right? So,
the
but if he
document?
says that, and then he doubles down again, he says we're going to take care of single mothers. Well, they wouldn't be single mothers if they weren't forced in to have their fucking stepdad's child. Like,
yeah, understood.
I don't know, man. I just want everybody out there. We're not going to spend the whole fucking show going over Plan 2025 this week. I just wanted to fucking touch on a couple of things, but I want everybody out there that's middle class and is voting red to please look at the taxes. The taxes are, if you make less than $100 grand or less, you're going to get about a $6,000 tax increase. If you make $380,000 or above, you're going to get a tax decrease. And if that fucking spells middle class to you, then God bless you.
There's always
God
been
bless
that
you.
chasm with the right wing that I always thought was strange. The guy with no teeth that lives in a trailer that thinks they're fighting for him.
Well, that's it. He
Just
said-
because they don't like gays, that's enough to pull the lever.
And I've never understood that.
Make
It was
their life
like I
a lot
remember
more difficult.
Like last year, one of the big things was like, here's 50 guys on the side of the street fucking with hats on, and he wouldn't allow any of those motherfuckers on his golf course.
Correct.
But they're, I'm 65. I don't have I lost my son, so I really don't have it's just me and my wife.
Well, yeah, no, but
But
you've spent your life amassing that. If you were 35 now, and where you were at,
I'll be getting a tax cut.
Yeah, I guess at 30. Yeah, you were 35. All right, so 25.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I got to go back to the time when you were
Yeah,
struggling. I got to find it.
But still, I was always had a side hustle where I was making cash.
Yeah.
That wasn't being. I mean,
It depends. I mean, listen. I got a daughter in college, as you know. I got my little one starts private school next year. Just hit me over the back of the head with a bat.
well,
anyone got any part-time work?
just make sure.
Need a co-host for Greg Gagne's show? Anyone?
Just make sure that and my whole thing is this: when it comes down to like my beliefs and things, like if I had to choose between the 10 Commandments being posted in my 5-year-old son's room and him having to have drag queen storybook time at 5 years old, I'll take the 10 Commandments. I can,
But you see,
because
the drag thing was another thing that was just
of course it
run
was.
with the other side.
Of course it was, because if it happened, but you know what? It's one of those things where it's an identifying situation. I'm so not fucking far left, and I'm so not fucking far. I'm almost like I'd be Barry Goldwater, fucking be voting for Goldwater probably. And this was fucking 64.
Anyone else in the audience? Who else is here? We must have some questions.
I'd vote for. I'm a Kennedy guy. That's just not fucking not Bobby Jr.
I was gonna say not RFK Jr.
No, not fucking. Not, that boy got a worm in his head.
Black Guy 1491, Royal Rumble 2011. After you were eliminated, you and Big Show were seen arguing while he was entering and you were leaving. Were you guys going into business for yourself, or was it scripted?
We fucking gave each other dirty look, and we were fucking around. I said something that was probably inappropriate.
To Paul?
Yeah, but said it with like just kind of a look on my face. Like, hey, yeah, you'd like to suck my cock, wouldn't you? So that's the beauty of of pro wrestling.
There it is. He looks like he's ready to go down.
Fuck, I'm tan as a motherfucker. Got that Magic Mike fucking.
All right, who else? What do we got here?
Drew McIntyre. The story goes on.
Josh Henney. I'm hoping to go to OVW at the end of August and finally meet Kevin at their pay-per-view.
I will be there.
Okay. This is
my buddy Dave Hero's son Cal is he's right. He's second row, one over on the right.
okay.
Yeah.
And what's the date on this so we can tell everybody?
It's
August 31st, is it? Scroll down, Steve.
End of August.
August 31st, Appalachian Arena, Pikeville,
I thought it was
Kentucky.
amazing that I called CM Punk a Pikeville Waffle House employee, and I'm doing a OVW, and I asked.
That's right.
I said, "Where's it at?" They went Pikeville. I said, "See, man, there's a synergy going on that fucking it's just there, man."
You're in the groove.
I'll have to stop at a fucking Waffle House while I'm there.
Who can wrap us up? Anybody? Anybody? We're all the big mouths. Ace Ramon. Do you get paid for Vinny Vegas and Oz?
Fuck, I don't think they make anything that
That would be so dope if there was an Oz figure. That'd be huge.
I think because Oz is probably a Turner, Time Warner, now whoever the fuck owns that.
But they assumed all of that when WWE bought it. They assumed all the copyrights.
Yeah, but they don't, it's not with it. I don't think that.
Oh wait, because Oz refers to the Wizard.
The Wizard
of Oz?
was.
But that might be public domain now. It's 75
I don't know.
years.
I bet you if you fucking sold John Cena in a Batman costume, fucking DC fucking cease and desist your ass and about.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's copyright protected because it's more than 75 years old. Like I know, like To Kill a Mockingbird lost its copyright status a couple of years ago. You could stage To Kill a Mockingbird in the nude if you wanted to, and you wouldn't have to pay anyone. To Kill a Cockingbird, maybe, perhaps.
Yeah, but if you want to go ahead and turn that stone over, we can talk about Gregory Peck.
Out of respect.
Exactly.
Kliq This is a production of Butch
Real
and
quick,
Sundance.
I do have to say for Kev.
Hi.
I've been to multiple WWE shows in Las Vegas where they do sell Vinny Vegas T-shirts.
Oh.
So we're gonna see who gets that money. We'll report back next week.
Kev, get what's his name on the phone? Barry? Who? No, your attorney. This would have to be, right?
Yeah, yeah. God, you know what? God bless him.
Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast C, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2024, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, you want to do another one? See if we can go longer than 2:31 next week?
Yeah, but it wasn't that. We didn't. I just.
It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, man. I just feel like, man, all we did was talk wrestling.
Let us free. service never answers a thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Through twists and turns you've come to love me. Now I'm cold, I'm frozen. Baby, we're broken and the customer service never answers a thing. Yeah, the customer service never